Good evening, my name is Alex Campbell.
And I'm Mark Palmer.
And you're watching the last episode of Dissecting Vikings. So we open with Ubbe, Torvi, Oter, and the rest of the Vikings encountering these Native American Indians. Very tense, very suspenseful, as Vikings always is in every single scene, basically. One of the Native American Indians breaks an arrow to signify like they want peace, not war. And yeah, I really like this little exploration into these two cultures discovering each other, and yeah,
without it just being straight up violence.
Yeah, a little girl like tugging on Oter's beard because none of the Native Americans have beards, and them looking at the axes and the plaits in the hair and the tattoos. It was all really interesting.
I do love the way the Native Americans show them the bow like it's new shit.
Yeah,
you know? They're like, oh, and then it just cuts to scenes of them like using bows. In England.
And yeah, like all this like exploration into these cultures was part of the thing that hooked me on Vikings from the beginning. In the early days, where it showed like their day-to-day life and the weaving of their fabrics,
the different languages and everything, what they're trying to communicate and everything. That was a really big draw point.
Yeah, their stories and their folklore and the way they fucking told each other all these stories was really fucking interesting, and it was part of the reason I got engaged.
Yeah, which kind of just stopped for like 5 seasons. 4 seasons. I don't know, a lot of seasons.
Yeah, I think they got to the point where like you can't keep on doing that, and it's not original anymore. You know, we've heard all the stories.
They did the right thing to zone out of it, because you kind of get over it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you can't keep on doing the same fucking thing. I remember the stuff with all the sacrifices in the beginning and all that, like their weird fucking...
The drug trips and shit?
Yeah, the magic mushrooms and all that fucking stuff. So yeah, it kind of pissed me off that there's this guy who's after gold and he fucks up the whole relationship.
Yeah, just fucking blatantly murders that guy. I thought he was going to kill the kid, to be honest, at first.
Yeah, I mean, I get that it's like the last 2 episodes of the entire series and they need tension and suspense, and they kind of... I mean, they could have just had the Vikings and the Native American Indians just like being friends, maybe? I don't know.
I would have been happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not typically how you construct a engaging narrative, but yeah, it was just, it's like, But it is kind of the thing of the cycle of violence. It just repeats, and you can't get away from it, which has been a big theme in this final season.
One fucking guy. Everyone else was perfectly happy to just chill.
One psychopath needs to start, axing people and wreck it all for everybody.
For fucking gold, when you're living in this absolutely beautiful place with like, an abundance of everything you need. You have no need for fucking gold there.
Yeah.
Yet you want gold.
Nah. Yeah. Which is just, basically decorative for the Vikings. Like, they can't use it for electronics or anything. It's a rather weak, soft, malleable metal. So it's just for decorative purposes. But you needed to go and fuck up everything. And the Native American Indians are like fucking obviously broken. They give him over. And Ubbe does the right thing. He's fucking, he's like, we'll punish him. And before all that though, there's the reveal that they know some of the Viking language. And the old fucking crazy man thing, and we get Floki.
Yeah.
After all this time, he made it.
How the fuck did he make it? Like, how did he pilot a ship by himself? Like, all the Viking longships need multiple people to...
Yeah, he did have a little one in like season 5 when he first went to Iceland. It was a little tiny one. So.
Oh yeah, because that's how he fucking got there to begin with. He didn't take a bunch of people, did he?
Yeah, he went by himself and did magic mushrooms and frolicked around the beautiful
there you go,
waters.
that completely explains it.
Yeah. But
that was a great episode.
Yeah, it was. Iceland was really cool at the beginning before like everyone just started. The gods turned their back on Floki.
Yeah.
And this slow reveal of Floki is so good. You see all the carvings which tell like the Viking story and Ragnar and Linda's farm.
You could just tell before it even got to him that it was Floki though. Because even in the first episode, you see all the engravings he does on trees and shit.
Yeah, the whole habitat and house and everything was quintessential Floki in all of its facets.
This is our story.
So yeah, I love the slow build up and the slow reveal to old Flockles. And him slowly lowering down, and yeah, I mean, he's such a impactful and great character. It's been there from episode
He's
1.
the only character who's been
Yeah,
there from episode 1.
absolutely, and yeah, Gustav Skarsgård's performance was so like sad and somber, and it was satisfying and great. But yeah, just the way like my mind is not quite there anymore.
Yeah,
like,
he's getting dementia and shit. And
yeah, forgetting stuff. I did like how dismissive he was of everything though. Like, there's a bunch of stuff where Ubbe's bringing up the past and Iceland and all that drama.
like,
I don't care anymore.
yeah, none of that exists out here.
Yeah, like, I'm out. I'm fucking done.
Yeah, it's like what happened. He's like, I'll tell you.
Yeah. And then, yeah, at the end with the Blood Eagle, which they don't go through, like, yeah, Ubbe asks for his counsel, and it's like, I don't give counsel anymore, I just keep it to myself.
Yep.
And yeah, that whole sequence where Old Mate is going to get Blood Eagled for what he did, and then he's like, no, Valhalla for you. Which is pretty brutal. That guy's like entire like legacy is just fucking gone. And yeah, in the sagas there's only ever 2 Blood Eagles talked about, Jarlborg and Aela. So when I was watching it, I'm like, there's not a 3rd Blood Eagle, but I mean,
in all Viking history, that's the only Blood Eagles that were.
Yeah, well, they're only in the sagas, and they don't even really know if they actually did happen. But there's only like 2 documented stories which describe it happening to 2 people.
Valhalla is not for you, my friend. Let me put you out of your misery.
And yeah, then we get the final ever sequence of Vikings, which was really nice and sad and poetic. Ubbe and Floki sitting on the beach, yeah,
like somewhat sunsetish.
Yeah, having a little conversation.
And blankets.
Yeah, and yeah, Floki's basically, yeah, he talks about Ragnar. He's like, he comes to me, he's like, Bilby Bob, like, why Ragnar? You're dead. And all those moments, like, yeah, it was so fucking. Yeah, Gustav Skarsgård done such a fucking good job with this character. And all these little, like, there's lots of slow moments where, like, he's just holding on him and his dialogue is, like, so sparse with silence where he's, like, thinking and stuff.
But you can see him thinking. That's the thing. It's not like it's just the guy not saying lines. He looks like he's thinking.
Yeah, he's still acting. He's just, like, yeah, not saying any dialogue. And then, yeah, he's just, like, at the end, he's like, soon I will die. And then Ubbe says something about this being the end. And that's it. It's funny when we talk about fan service and like Star Wars and all those cringe moments where they cram way too much in, but this did the complete opposite, And I was just waiting for like some type of a Travis Fimmel appearance. Like, I don't know, we're panning over and like Ragnar being there to some
just
degree.
standing there watching over them or whatever.
Yeah, like just a shot, but like it never did it. It just, even though Ragnar was a constant thread in the narrative.
Especially with Floki.
Yeah, and all his sons and that, like it never like went to the thing of the Ragnar ghost and the blatant fan service and, you know, all that cringy stuff.
They did have it a few episodes ago, though.
They had lots of flashbacks to, like, earlier scenes of a lot of stuff, actually, intercut, which was really effective. It makes you think about how fucking long this show has been going. Yeah. Yeah, they never, like, got Fimmel back in, like, old man makeup and some kind of ghost effect or anything silly.
No, let's
like
just
that.
take the scenes we already had to the pain of anything else.
Yeah.
That's why when you see Ragnar, you want to see young Ragnar.
That's fair. Although I did like how his story just ended terribly. It's funny because we talk about Luke Skywalker and how unsatisfying and horrible seeing the archetypical hero's journey just turned to shit.
Yeah, but this is it done right.
Yeah, they did that. Because I remember saying, like, it's never satisfying to see the archetypical hero turn to shit, but like, Ragnar got fucking addicted to drugs, stopped caring about shit, and then left.
But he's more like a real sort of person instead of like, you know, Luke Skywalker, which is like fantasy.
Yeah, and
because
I mean,
it's still fantasy, but it's not like, it's just...
It was written well.
Written.
Yeah. Ryan Johnson didn't write it well. All the dumb humour and whatnot. Where, yeah, Ragnar's fucking fall from grace was beautiful and epic. And then, yeah, the other big story beat is the old fucking...
England.
Yeah, Ivor and Alfred. They do this great suspenseful setup with Alfred's men, and like they don't know that all the Viking forces are there, and it's ominous. We get this cross falling and talking about people going into the forest and dying, and then Ivor's intellect takes fucking full stand again.
The traps.
Yeah.
Oh, that was.
It was pretty brutal. Yeah, we'll cripple them, and just like spike traps, just pinning people's legs
and then you wait, they will come and help them. And that's when you strike. It's like fuck.
It was like brutal on so many levels. So he didn't want to kill people, he wanted to wound people so they could fucking trap more of them. And then there were like trapdoors with Vikings that popped out, and oil and fire, and they had platforms with arrows.
Arrows, yeah.
And then they had Viking people dressed in the England guards garb.
To go and steal the queen and shit. Yeah, wow. And the baby was like right there.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of it is just like weird shaky cam stuff, but there was still a lot of narrative beats going on, like these two characters going up against each other and all of this stuff going on. And Alfred totally loses the first battle. He gets horribly wounded, which is like kind of a bit much.
Yeah.
I think like here he gets run through. Like back in those days, like I mean,
you're pretty fucked for that.
Yeah.
You get infected and shit, and you're gonna die.
Yeah, like you'd probably just bleed out, like.
Yeah, that's true. In the middle of a battlefield. Christ is with us.
Yeah, he sees the vision of God.
Hallucinating and shit.
Yeah, going down. So the first battle ends, and then we finally get the scene of them coming face to face and having a discussion after all this time and all this fucking setup. And I was once again like, we should like have a little truce and we can be friends. And Alfred's like, I've seen this.
Get fucked.
Yeah, you've done this 1,000 fucking times. I'm not fucking falling for this again. I give you land, I give you everything, and you fucking come back and you destroy it. Yeah. And I want to talk about the crucifix that Alfred has, because even that object has so much fucking history. That was like Athelstan's, and that was a cross that fucking Ragnar took off and put on his thing when he shaved his head and all the blood. And I was just wearing it openly during fucking Paris. So it's amazing how like this piece of jewelry has so much history and so much setup.
So many dead people have worn it.
Yeah. It's like, this piece of jewelry has way more like character than a lot of characters in a lot of shows.
And like in the Star Trek episode.
In fucking Discovery or Picard for sure.
Yeah, no, that's fucking mental, eh?
Yeah.
That's just good, like, building plot, you know? Everything has purpose.
Yeah. Michael Hurst definitely knew what was going on and what was happening. And everything being set up perfectly. And I guess because, like, he had the history books, so he kind of knew how it was going to play out. But it never felt like it was just stumbling along, finding the story as it comes, which a lot of authors do and write good stuff.
But it felt like it was very structured.
Yeah, even from the beginning, like with Ubbe and Ivor, when they're like little kids, like you got all those like character traits in them back in like season 3 and stuff.
Well, definitely Ivor. Ubbe barely said shit.
Yeah, that's true. He was just Ubbe, I guess. But but Ivor, like he knew Ivor the Boneless was going to be Ivor the Boneless. And then Vitzo gets into trouble, and Vitzo was a fucking beast in these final battles.
Vitzo's not much like when it comes to like leading or doing any shit as a ruler or anything. When it comes to battles, he's just so fucking cool. Dual wielding and shit. Yeah,
and it was really satisfying, like after all this time and like all the shit he's been through with his drug addiction and not living up to his father's legacy, to see him like be a badass Viking, which he has been in most of the battle scenes, but it felt like a nice conclusion to his character, rather than him just dying of a heroin overdose or something.
Yeah, but that'd be a depressing end. Still possible? No, it's not even Christian and shit.
Yeah, he converted.
That was fucking weird.
That was weird. It kind of came out of nowhere, and there wasn't any like real setup or anything for it.
Yeah, no. I mean, the whole Buddhist thing was this thing that was setting up. I guess that was kind of setting it up to see that he was unsure about his faith. Yeah,
religion and stuff. I don't know. But he just decided to stay with Alfred.
And of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
And also old fucking Harold. He gets lost in the mist, and this guy comes out of nowhere.
Just fucking slices him.
He gets ran through.
Yeah,
Alfred gets it like here. He gets it like here.
Yeah, and he fucking still fucks the cunt up though.
Yeah. I really thought that. Yeah, Halfton coming back and like helping him onto his feet and like helping him stab that guy, helping him get to Valhalla.
Cool scene.
Yeah, and that's been.
And they were
set up.
singing and shit, and he's all singing normally, and Harold's just like.
Yeah, this is like a nice, simple ending to this epic character that's been through so much. And really touching and personal with Old and Halfton coming back. We got a Halfton cameo, but no Ragnar cameo. That's alright.
They just think about how many fucking of the rulers went over to there and just didn't come back. You know, Vitzerk turned Christian, Harold died, Ivar died. Like, it's just. Who else was there?
Yeah, and they leave fucking old Ingrid. She's like Queen of Kattegat now. Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff with her and Eric as well, but who the fuck cares?
We have to discuss that.
She stabs him with a rake.
Pitchfork.
Yeah. And then, she's
in the middle of sex, so he died with a raging hard on.
I did like a little speech at the end talking about the Vikings and the end of the Golden Age and the legacy and all these fallen heroes. Not so much because of her, but just because of that thematic idea coming to an end and all the cuts back.
I said that a lot this season though.
Yeah, that was a big thematic bookend for this whole entire thing. It's like, this is the end. Everyone cool is gone and the Viking Age is over. Which in reality it took like 500 years or so. But they did just like integrate into like Christian life.
It's like Joe Rogan said, that's only 5 people.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
What about Ivar's death?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, on paper, like Harold's death and Ivar's death, I mean, it's so basic and simple. Like, they just die in battle. But just the execution of it and the editing and the emotion, like...
Yeah, dude, he goes up when he's all does his I am Ivar speech and shit.
Yeah, Alex Hogg Anderson, the actor, just commanded intensity.
Actor's such a joker too.
Yeah,
he's so intense.
Yeah, he's funny as fuck. And then, but on camera, when he wants to be intense and crazy, he can pull it off epically.
It's just like, it's okay. It's okay, that random English soldier.
Yes.
He's like, are you serious?
Just lets him shank him. Because, he's talking about his legacy and, like, he wants to die in battle here. He wants to be the most famous Viking. And, like, he doesn't want to live out his life or rule England or rule Kattegat. Same with Harold, too. Harold kind of, like, got the kingship and he's like, this isn't what I wanted. And
he's like, he liked the journey there. He didn't like the destination.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. After he got stabbed, he went down. When Vitzerk comes and grabs him and everything, he changed his mind. He's like, I'm scared.
Yeah, it's weird. It cuts from there's such, like, aggression and intensity. And then, in that last final moment, he's like, I'm scared.
That moment of realizing what was happening, I guess.
Yeah, nice little emotional beat, which I didn't expect.
He's still human.
Yeah. He wasn't, this, like, legacy, son of Ragnar, epic hero. He was a human.
And Alfred just sits there and just allows them to...
Also, before all that, his leg, like, completely snaps in half.
That's right.
There's a great scene before his death too, where like he's mimicking the action of all the other Vikings.
Oh, that was so cool.
It was really cool because that's what he's been. He's been like the puppet master, controlling.
He's not much of a fighter.
Yeah, I mean he's fucked. Especially here, he's walking into battle. The shit is breaking and snapping within him. Eyes are all blued out. He looks like he's from Dune. And then gets shanked. He's like. His leg is like. I'm scared, and that's it. It was a satisfying ending. Like they wrap up everything satisfying, like Game of Thrones, and all that. A lot of that was meant to be bittersweet, but none of it was satisfying. It was all like, ugh.
And it almost perfectly encapsulated what Ragnar said about the seer before he died. The seer said that Vitzerk or Ivar would kill each other, right?
Yeah.
And then that didn't happen.
Yeah.
It's like Ragnar was saying, what if Lagertha didn't know that she was going to lose the child? Would she have lost the child?
She made it happen because she got foretold.
And then Ivar and Vitzerk was like, I could never kill you. You're my brother and all that. It's a beautiful moment.
Yeah. So even between them, after all like the turmoil they've been through, like that was really satisfying. It's satisfying to see old man doddering aged Floki. It's satisfying to see Ubbe complete this fucking journey to the Golden Land. It's satisfying to see Fitzek turn Christian.
No, but it is satisfying to see Vitzek and Ivar's relationship never went into that moment, which we all just saw coming. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. It's almost like Ivar's like, okay, I can't let this happen.
Yeah.
I need to go in and I need to get stabbed by that random English guy.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, in the end, in conclusion, 89 episodes in like 7 years or something.
89 good episodes.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any bad ones.
I mean, yeah, there was a slight dip there somewhere, but like when you look at it as an overall like piece, like the Beatles, like maybe Let It Be wasn't as good as the White Album, or maybe, you know, Beatles for Sale wasn't as good as Abbey Road, but like their legacy, like the 89 episode legacy.
Yeah, the gold in there like outshines them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, it's been a long part of my life. I remember the first season when it came out, watching it with Jake when it was like a couple months old. And now Jake's gone.
And so is Vikings. But that's the thing, it's a series which you're able to watch from start to finish without being disappointed by the end. Which is very rare these days.
Yeah, that's fair.
So,
and yeah, you did it with 89 episodes, not like 50 episodes.
Yeah, and you can go back and watch it again down the track and just watch it and enjoy the whole thing all over again.
I will. And definitely in like 5 years time or something, I'll sit down and watch all Vikings again. And it'll be amazing. Probably watch it every 5 years.
I'll just watch it when I feel like, hey, I'll watch first episode of Vikings, because you watch it and then you're pretty much set at that point.
Yeah, when I rewatched it all before this, the first season, like, oh my god, this is incredible. It's like a journey, an adventure, new worlds being discovered, these explorers. It's like one of those like really old archetypical heroes journeys, like that story of adventure.
Well, if they break, don't fix it. Just write it. Right.
Yeah, it's sprinkled throughout fantasy and throughout myth and their stories and their sagas. And yeah, shit older than the Bible. Like stories is one of the oldest, most compelling stories, which pulls people towards it for thousands and thousands and thousands of years.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and we're watching it in 2021.
Technically it finished 2020 though.
Huh?
Technically it finished 2020 though.
Yeah, but we didn't get there.
No, we didn't.
But we got there. Do you want to say anything else about Vikings?
No, it's been a long road and it's been good.
Yeah, even for us it's been a long road.
Yeah.
I'll cut in a best of Vikings, dissecting Vikings thing here.
It still seems insane that we never reviewed any episodes of Ragnar were in though.
First season we started was the first season without Ragnar. Never reviewed a Ragnar episode. But here's some silly shenanigans with Steve, Jasper, Mark and I. Thank you and good night. Incidentally, I crashed my bike today. I don't know if you can see that.
He's half dead.
My life is in shambles. Yeah, he is quite bogan now.
He's extremely bogan.
Well,
I have sat in a smoker's hut on many occasions.
I've seen many Harold fine hairs
that are exactly like that.
Like, you can't be leaving the scene. And he goes, don't be a hero, mate. And I said, I'm not trying to be a hero, but the police are coming. And he just decided he'd scoot up the road, and I just said, nah, it's not going on like that, mate. So I jumped in my car, and I started chasing him up the road, and then he went down a side street, and then the police were coming, and I flashed them and sent them off in the direction of him. But, mate, all I had was me jocks on. I was chasing him up the street, and I'm just like, mate.
Skull!
Alex's TV is really shit. It's extremely small and it was dirty. Like, there are several scenes of shots of the sky where I thought there were birds in the sky and they weren't. There were spots of dirt on the TV.
Alright, so I have to confess, this is my excuse, right? I have a kid and I had like what's your TV, like 50 inch?
Yeah, something like that.
And she smashed it. And we tried to get
monitor.
It's probably like 38 inches or something. But yeah, once again we have a kid, so everything just splattered with food and crayons, and We have a big one in the bedroom.
Oh, so you keep the bedroom one for you guys, but the guests don't get the good TV.
Well,
Is that how it works?
I had that in the lounge room, but the audio port didn't work, and it was only mono no matter what you did to it. So when I listened to music, I'd be listening to like Fame by David Bowie, and like half the guitars were gone. And like in a rage, I'm like, I'm not doing this. I picked up the big TV and carted it into the room. Ashley's like, it's too big. I'm like, I don't care. I just want to listen to music. Like, I need both speakers. I need music. So that's the story behind that. Hello?
What?
Did you spill something on the TV?
No.
Did you?
No.
You didn't?
No.
Okay. Kids.
It's really fucking hot today.
Yeah, I should preface that we live in Queensland, Australia.
I'm dying. I want to die.
And
Please
I'm
kill
fucking
me.
melting.
Let it end.
Yeah.
I don't care about Vikings. I just... It's over.
Christmas in America is like snow and family and turkeys. The weather outside is rightful, all nice snow. Here it's fucking hot. Christmas comes around, everyone eats fucking a roast chicken and melts. We still eat the American like turkey.
Yeah, they try their
roast,
hardest to try.
Yeah, but it's fucking like 40 degrees. We should just have salad and beer.
Well, some people smart have prawns and beer.
Yeah. A hot chicken.
Hot chicken. Hot Woolies chicken. She's talking as if she's got the old worn wisdom of a fucking, an old queen.
Yeah.
Right, like who was the first Thrain of where they're at now. Back in season 1.
Yeah.
And his mistress.
Siggy.
Yeah.
Siggy Barbrain. Her name was Siggy.
Oh, Siggy, man.
Siggy, man.
What's going up there, mate?
Fucking Siggy. Siggy's dead. Happy New Year, Khan! My name's Alex Campbell.
And I'm Mark Palmer.
And you're watching the 5th episode of Dissecting Vikings. They get on their boats and sail off, and then...
We can just start again. Andrew. Old boy Andrew.
We'll be right back. El Capriccio. Ganacha. Surprised you didn't get a goon sack.
Yes, I'm drinking fancy, Spanish wine?
Fancy by cheat, you mean, right?
I don't know, Ashley got it from work for her going away present, so I presume it's expensive. This is $10 goon in here, I'm gonna finish that and try this.
Okay.
But this has more sugar, so I presume this is gonna taste a lot better than this somewhat expensive wine.
If it's red wine, it feels like it's been chilled.
Yeah.
You don't chill red wine, though.
I'll fucking do what I want.
Don't want to rush those tannins.
I took the lid off so it would breathe and the tannins would whatever. So I'm halfway there, people.
Something that's
Great
bothering
heathen
me.
army.
They're
Yeah.
all like, oh, well, we gotta get back to the swampland. It's like, why don't you just go back to one of your two kingdoms?
Yeah, well, that's where they were at the end.
Wessex and fucking
Northumbria? Or
no,
was that
not Northumbria.
Aelus?
That was Aelus. It's
Wessex and
should really know this.
Northumbria.
The one that crazy bitch was from.
Yeah, the crazy bitch who pissed on Ragnar.
What are you doing?
They have plenty of space to hide to instead of going to those bloody.
Yeah, well, this kid just wants him to go and live in the swamp. So we should go back to the swamps and live.
Back to the swamps, of course.
What the fuck are you talking about?
If you've lost, fine, retreat back. But retreat back to your luxury bloody castle.
Yeah, not to the swamp. Dad, we should live in a swamp like
Why
Shrek.
want to begin with?
I guess that part got sacked and Egbert got killed and they were hiding from the heathen army. But they've left now.
Yeah, well and truly, it's pretty sure it's been months.
Back to the swamp, Mark.
Back to the swamps, of course.
So on this series, a couple of times now, Jasper and I and Steve and I brought up Lagatha and how she hasn't aged and she had this massive arc from housewife and farmer to shield maiden to earl to.
King, queen.
Hey! Hey! Shut up!
That's where they know you were filming, eh?
I have like an on-air sign flashing out the front. And they just see it and they're like, oh fuck yeah!
Well, it happened last time too.
It did. We live in Kalanka. And people are bogan cunts.
For Americans, that's pretty much the Australian equivalent of redneck.
Yes, bogan is an Australian redneck. So, basically the battle concludes. Ivor and Harold's force loses. We get an awesome gore shot of the guy's arm. That's more realistic as to what battles would be, because those swords weren't that sharp. They weren't like katanas.
So it didn't give it a clean slice, it was just hanging
Yeah, they just kind of ripped and broke through stuff and left shit hanging.
But it was so real, it just looked so
Yeah, and you just feel for that guy just looking at his arm like, oh my god, this is my arm. But yeah, it's not laid out how the show is at all. It's like folk tales and shit, and it's like vague.
There's a
and
very
mythical.
decent chance Floki and Ragnar didn't even exist at the same time period. They just put Floki in there to kind of...
Yeah, and Floki just discovered Iceland. He didn't go with Ragnar to like Lindisfarne or anything. Also, like the rating of Lindisfarne and rating of Paris is like 100 years apart.
Oh really?
So it couldn't have been Ragnar doing both. Also, you know, the dead scene sneaking into Paris, that was Bjorn, that wasn't Ragnar.
I read that there was a rumor that Ragnar Lothbrok died in Paris doing that.
Yeah, well, you know how he fell off the bridge and stuff? He could have died there, he could have died in the snake pit. Also, Oslog was actually Bjorn's mother, not...
Ragnar?
Yeah,
Really?
so yeah, it's pretty vague and loose. He's not following the story.
Well, it says written like hundreds of years after.
Yeah, 300 years after the actual events. So
That's mental.
it's all myth and legend.
Right now they've been I don't know how many, like fucking at least 50 or something years, 40, 50 years since the show started.
Yeah.
And they still don't know how to read and write.
Yeah.
Speak the language.
Yeah, they were illiterate
But
culture.
yeah, they
Yeah,
still
so they didn't
are.
write anything down.
So they're not just pushing it all in there, you know, which is interesting. But
Yeah. Good evening. My name's Alex Campbell.
And that's Jasper Moy. And my name's Stephen Wilson. And we're doing a review show.
First, or you going? That's what I was waiting for. And you're watching the 9th episode of Dissecting Vikings.
This is like the continuation of season whatever it was. Right?
Yeah, 5. Season 5, part 2.
Okay.
So they're doing it in like 10 episode blocks. So yeah, last time we reviewed the finale of season 5, which is what Jasper thought it was. This is garbage. And then he's like, oh, this isn't the finale? Now I changed everything. Fucking Jasper.
This is the season finale. This is
Half season.
Yeah, well that's what I was
this is the half
confused about.
season.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was the end of like the season. So this is like a middle half.
Yeah. So
Okay, that changes my entire opinion. I was not aware of that.
I'm like-
Either way, the point was...
Sebastian's coming in. What are you doing here, Sebastian?
No way. Should we shut the door?
I did. Yeah, I think. So yeah, at this point we've kind of talked in nauseum about Hagman overacting, but let's talk about it more. Yeah, that scene where he's talking to Alfred about whatever. I just kept on thinking, why are you talking like that?
I am what I have always been. Christ's warrior on earth. And I fight for him wherever and for whomever he chooses.
I mean, I imagine that's what they would have done anyway.
Yeah, I guess
You
they
know,
would have
the-
trained like that to a point. They'd have training swords and then they'd have real swords, and part of their training would be just fucking going for it.
I'd say, yeah, you just get hardcore bruising mostly from that.
Yeah, they were wearing chainmail, I think.
Damn it, putting it on silent didn't even do anything. And I keep pressing the bloody power button instead of turning off the alarms button. I'm just going to turn the whole thing
I
off.
remember, you haven't seen Blade Runner 2049, eh?
I don't think so.
There's this like big fucking quiet, dramatic moment in the film leading up to the reveal of Harrison Ford. We're sitting in the movies watching it and my alarm goes off. I turned my phone off, but my phone like turned back on with the alarm. I was like, what the fuck? And then I turned it off and then it made another noise. I was like, oh no. I'm that guy now.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, it's good because that means phones, even if you turn it off, they will like, if you set this alarm.
Yeah. I just didn't think about it.
No, of course not. You think it's off, it's not going to hurt you.
Yeah, go off. But it did. Thank you for watching, and it really helped out if you like, subscribe, and comment, or sacrifice these small dogs to Odin. I should have waited for you.
Yeah, went a little bit crazy.
So we've been drinking this cheap, shitty box wine.
Oh fuck.
Now we're gonna open
All over my garage floor.
what I've been told by people. Is that focused? Nah, nothing's focused in this review. Everything's out of focus.
Including our opinions.
By somebody, a wine guy.
A wine guy.
Yeah, that this is a nice bottle of wine.
I like this stuff better.
Yeah, the cheap sugar wine. Oh, really
Jesus.
sticks to your mouth. Really just did. There's like a thick layer of this on my teeth. Alright, now, did you taste ripe, fresh cherry fruit flavors with lingering, what do we say that word, man?
Astringency.
Astringency from the supple grape and oak tannins.
Is astringency that like stick to the walls of your mouth sensation?
Possibly. I don't know what astringency means, because I'm an uncultured Aussie. Oh,
It's dry.
it's very dry.
That's dry.
Alright. What do you give this wine in this wine review on our wine review channel, which is what this is, a channel of reviews for wine.
I don't have much. I don't have much to compare it to.
Well,
I know that.
9 out of 10.
I don't know. Because I've drank a fair bit of that already, right?
Yeah.
And I haven't drank much of this, and so
That's fair.
there's
Alright.
an adjustment of the
But
palate.
why don't we save the rating for the end of the review, if we remember?
Maybe.
I was gonna say it's rather interesting that they picked an odd-looking actress who isn't like conventionally attractive.
What's fucking
Torvi.
Yeah.
Torvi with the eyes far
Yeah,
apart.
yeah.
But she's the daughter of the writer and producer. So don't worry. Got the role on pure merit, right, Michael Hurst? Alright, so what would you rate the old Julia Hill?
He's growing on me. This is not bad, actually.
Connor Wara Shiraz 2013.
It's actually not bad. Like, there was a bit of a shock to the system going from that to this, but
I will say that it's still a youthful wine that will develop into a bigger, richer, complex individual as time goes on and should peak around 2021.
I mean, that can be said for all of us, can't it?
You really reckon? I think this is my peak. I think I hit my peak. I think I'm on the downhill path.
Damn, yeah, okay.
2021's gonna be, it's not gonna be good. So yeah, no, I mean, it's a bit like Vikings, really. You have a nice sugary wine with Travis Melt, and you think it's great, and you get used to it, and then you get something else and it tastes bitter, and it sticks to your gums, and it's gross.
Yeah.
But as you spend more time with it, you become familiar with it, and you start to enjoy it more. Thank you for watching.
Cheers.
Really help out. Skull.
Skull.
Like, subscribe, and in the Patreon, please don't stop paying me, because I'm racist. Even though I don't have Patreon.
He's extremely racist.
Shit. That all went horribly.
Happy New Year. My name's Jasper.
My name's Donald Glover. My name's Alex.
You're watching Dissecting
It went all the
Vikings.
way through. So Lord Hegmund, Bishop Hegmund, is
I love you. I love you.
Get all your jokes out now, because this is the last time we're ever going to be talking about it. Because he's dead, people!
He's fucking gone.
He's dead! Happy New Year. He has a...
That was a pretty good news present.
It was.
Yeah, get dead.
No, it's more like...
Lagatha.
I love you.
I love you. I love you, mother God.
You weren't there. You didn't see what I saw.
Overall, with this entire series, they've kind of ridden the line between how much they want to stay realistic to things. And I think,
it has this weird moment.
yeah, well, so in the very
Which
much
I enjoy, because I fucking love all that Lynch stuff and...
yeah, that's
Pink
true. Yeah,
Floyd
surrealistic. Yeah, all that sort of stuff. But
I'm a drug addict!
that was great when he choked the Chinese lady or whatever. In the water.
Yeah. So many good in the opium.
Give me the
It's like
drugs.
Dr. Oxo.
It's like,
drowning Toki in front of his kids too. Give me those fucking drugs, bitch!
Oh, the good old days.
Oh,
eh?
Ragnar drowning people for drugs. How I miss you.
Let me tell you, the only reason that I wanted you to come was because of the medicine.
Now you give me those fucking drugs! I'll fucking kill you!
What kind of mother are you?
And yeah, his acting and her acting, she was like, oh my god! Like crying. And that fall where he hit his head.
I actually cacked it a little bit at that point.
I was
it was more real because people always like they fall so slowly and everything like that. It's just like bang, which is what would happen.
Yeah.
You're not paying attention to where you're going.
It was so full on, that roller coaster accountability. It was so full on. I laughed and like was shocked. I was like, oh fuck! I like, just like,
Did not see it.
yeah, no hands out at all. He didn't save himself at all. Yeah, well, that's what history ends up doing. Apparently. But I mean, they could go against it. It's like Tarantino and Ingrid.
Well, like we said, we did like a hard gaze scene with Bjorn and King Harold.
That would mix it up.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if he just was like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm attracted to you. They show hard homoerotic sequences. Speaking of hard homoerotic sequences,
Right.
in this episode, Floki doesn't threaten to rape Shackle's son, but he does say, if I was the man I used to be,
He would have raped his son.
Yeah.
Which is, like, that's commitment, eh?
Yeah, because from what I know, Floki's not gay.
No, I don't believe so.
He's never raped anybody.
No, not that they've shown.
No, so he wouldn't be raping the guy's son out of enjoyment, but just purely for, like, revenge.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's full on.
that's pretty full on.
Rape is also a good segue to the album we're listening to tonight, which is Bill Cosby, To Russell, My Brother.
Are you trying to get that over my head so that you can...
To Russell, My Brother, Whom I Slept With. Kind of a different context now that he's accused
Disgusting.
of rape. And I like his face, he looks very guilty.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the face he did in court. Now we should see...
Like your body is ready. Already the body has turned. Ready to...
What is this filth?
I rape people! Alright, back to Vikings. We're reviewing Vikings, Jasper. Apparently.
As you slowly bled out, the last thing you would see would be me raping your son, raping your son, raping your son.
You burned my Beatles shirt. The Beatles. So Lagatha, she's back. I think like 20 episodes, and a year ago we said she should be a disheveled, eccentric, crazy queen.
Yeah, like she should have been at the head of the table with the crazy antlers in her hair, with the grey hair and the crazy makeup,
starting to lose her mind.
and like ruling over Katakat as like the
paranoid.
Paranoid. That would be great.
Yeah, like killing off like hot
interesting.
servants and slaves and shit.
Yeah.
Did you get like a weird lesbian vibe between Lagatha and Judith?
I think there's just a weird lesbian vibe between Lagatha and all of the other female cast members.
Like cast members rather than characters.
Yeah.
Like on the set.
Yeah. I mean, that might be me projecting. But
just wanting. Let's see what happens. But I feel like, this also might be me projecting. But I feel like they're definitely setting up like the Judith hardcore.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
No, we got Bjorn and Harold.
Yes, yeah.
And on the other side, Lagatha and Judith.
Yeah.
Quality for all. Disabled characters.
Diversity.
Yeah, transgender characters with Bjorn's wife.
Yeah.
She obviously has a penis.
Clearly.
Yeah, stubble. White shoulders.
Oh yeah, no, that bitch has definitely got a dick. Hi, Bjorny.
Yeah, Harold came to me. He said we're soulmates. But I love you, Bjorny. Always loved you, mate. Get over here and suck your fucking dick. Bjorny's like, I do love you.
I just want to be cuddled.
By a strong, masculine, muscly woman who can swing a sword around.
That was like, holy shit.
Yeah. I thought I misheard it when it first
Yeah.
happened. I'm like, did he just threaten to rape that guy's son?
In front of him while he watched.
Yeah. I'm gonna incapacitate you, feed you your balls, murder your wife, and then rape your son. It's like, Jesus, Floki.
It's full on.
Yeah, man. Right, thank you for watching really hard. Like, subscribe, and comment.
Swimming real cute, on down, touched the edge, and she swam on back, touched the edge, and she came back to me and pulled herself out and grabbed my leg. Little girls love to grab you. They put the head, that's love right there. It's really groovy. Yeah, it's really groovy. So guys, how you like it? I said, well, beautiful. I dig it, man. It's wonderful. You taught her how to swim. He said, now I want to teach this one. I said, Aaron can't even stand up. She just crawls around. The only time she stands up is when she wants to hit me in the head with an ashtray. He said, no. He said, look. He said, that's the groovy motion right there. That thing that she's doing just like that, like the crawling motion. That's actually swimming because, if you remember Darwin's theory and all that, this is a swimming motion.
All right,
We're done. Put her in a box of sand and
I loved the sequence where Harold and Bjorn, their little argument finally got to the point of violence. I thought that was really
That was
well
sick.
choreographed.
I was like, whoa.
It was like nice wide angle shots too. It had a lot of cutting, but you could see the actual actors like, why would you get up and then just get down again?
Dog logic.
Yeah, dog logic. Hashtag dog logic. Let's get it trending, people. But I mean, if that's the end of his arc, that's a crazy arc, man.
I do feel it's somewhat fitting, but it is absolutely horrible for
It's
poor
satisfying, but I mean, yeah, it's just like Shakespeare level of fucking drama and sadness, and just like, oh no, that's horrible. It's like the end of There Will Be Blood. Like that character's arc is just like him getting more psychotic and more disassociated with humanity, and then just to the breaking point of like murdering people and throwing out his son to the wasteland and not caring. His character arc is him going insane and losing it and not giving a fuck Floki's arc is just him failing in every aspect of life and dying.
And then, yeah, again, dying in a terrible fucking volcanic eruption.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than Happy Arc.
No. It's realistic. Like, it's not one of those things where it's like he's been fighting all this time, but then it turns out he was right and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that is almost simple. His whole arc there is almost symbolism of the old, like you said, how they slowly get turned Christian. That's the way of saying I've been fighting for the gods, but I've lost.
It's like the old way is dying. Floki's the old way. He's dying.
But that's the point, though, right? Each one of the sons is supposed to be a different aspect
of Ragnar's personality. Yeah.
He's got the smarts and the battle scenes, but he doesn't have the compassion and the loyalty.
He's a classic psychopath.
Yeah, which never ends up working. Apart from Stalin, who reigned for like 50 years, I guess, then just had a stroke.
Yeah, but then that's
Stroke
like
of bad luck.
I'm gonna get beers.
Yeah,
you can continue to talk.
Can you grab me one too, please?
Hey, give me a beer, you cunt.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of tyrannical dictators in the years, though, hasn't there? Like,
yeah. I mean,
I feel like if you haven't lent your way into seizing that power, or becoming that power, you're just born into it or whatever. You're destined to get people like that, though.
You have to understand one thing: that Björn is not your friend. He is your enemy.
I don't know. I don't know that there's a lot of parallels between fucking Stalin and Ivar.
I mean, they both have mustaches.
I do like Ivar's hair now, though. The way he's got like the ponytail going.
Yeah, he's going with that. I just like the idea that even though he's incredibly battle savvy and smart, that the reason.
I can't see this.
Nah, keep it going. This is great footy. Fuck off. This is the promo. You know what? You want me?
No, I think I got it, eh? No, I heard a pop, but it didn't do it.
You gotta put.
I know Jasper showed me before. It just never works. Can't do it with a lighter either.
Oh well, you weren't doing it. You're doing like.
I've done that.
You gotta like that.
Oh, so it's actually about having the finger there.
Yeah,
right.
leverage.
I was using the thumb. But
Yeah, I use my thumb. But
I'm so glad that's on. That's for everyone to see.
Don't worry, I'll cut that in editing.
Yeah. Wink, wink.
So you're a 12th century Russian historian.
Yeah.
Did they fly balloons?
That's possible.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say that's not historically accurate, but it seemed a bit like I don't know what's going on here.
Because even the balloon that they flew, they weren't really flying.
It wasn't a hot air balloon. They just like.
It was a hot air balloon, but it wasn't like a.
I guess you
build a bonfire and you get the balloon over the top of it, and it fills up the balloon for a little bit, and then it falls back down.
But how can you like control its descent?
You don't. You don't control the descent of a real balloon.
Yeah.
You go where the wind blows you.
Yeah, I worked with this guy named George, and he said that his wife went up on this hot air balloon. He was Greek, and he's like, "Hey man," she said, "go up in this fucking balloon, man. There'll be no worries, man."
Why do you sound Jamaican?
I don't know. He was weird. He was like Greek, where he grew up in Amsterdam, and he had this like sushi chef as his like mentor. He kind of had a scattering of like all these different European accents in one. It was more George than Greek, I guess. And yeah, anyway, the point of the story is his wife begged him to go up in this hot air balloon. He's like, "No, fuck that, man, fuck that." And the trip before his wife got on it went up and it like crashed into a shopping centre. Or at least that's what he told me. I mean, George was known to spin a yarn. Yeah. But the point is, fuck hot air balloons.
Yeah, no. It's
and
not.
no one says, "I booked you a romantic hot air balloon."
It's the first sort of attempt at flight that man made. So.
12th century Russia.
Apparently, yeah. Over the top of Kiev.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fucking know.
I presume this Prince Oleg is based on a real character, a real historic character.
I mean, if you believe in the conspiracy theories, the Middle Ages didn't happen.
What happened?
Oh no, it's like made up.
Like Australia and the Holocaust? And the Australian Holocaust?
The Emu Holocaust.
They beat us, Jasper. Now that's a Netflix special. The Emu Wars. Starring Hugo Weaving as the lead emu.
It's a lead emu, yeah. I can see that.
There's a fucking vast, epic, in-depth fucking universe. Could we do book reviews? Could we review
I don't
like
see why we
Dune
couldn't do book
and then
reviews.
Dune Messiah?
We could definitely
Children
do
of
book
Dune?
reviews.
Yeah.
We do audio book reviews.
Yeah.
Get sponsored by Audible.
I mean, I don't know.
But they throw fucking money around and get YouTubers to sponsor them. There's all heaps of YouTubers that are fucking shilling.
Oh, yeah, the ads at the beginning. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So
We'll see what happens. But yeah, like Vikings, like, I don't know, like there's this group of like kings voting for Bjorn and they're throwing pieces of wood in like a little pond in the middle. It's like, oh, how will the vote go? But then like you juxtapose it with like Dune and the vast world that is happening there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we should
But it's also the archetypical characters, right? Like these really interesting, engaging archetypes as they play out across these vast stories.
Yeah.
Where you don't get that's not happening in Vikings.
I was talking to Mark about God Emperor Dune, how fucking Leto II has like all the memory of all his ancestors and all these talking voices, and you can see like all these paths through future and all this stuff. And I was like comparing that to The Rise of Skywalker, where the Emperor's like, I have all the Sith within me.
Yeah, okay, no, that makes sense.
It was like one line.
That big thing that he was on.
Yeah,
is very Leto II-esque.
Yeah. But instead of like a fucking 1800 fucking page novel, it's I have all the Sith within me.
Well, see, again, it would be great. It would be fantastic if that was an entire movie.
The ideas are fine. They're just not developed at all.
Yeah, there's no time to develop.
Yeah, it's just like Sidious is back.
Bam.
Snoke is a clone. I have this fleet.
Well, they didn't even like
Star
Snoke. The fact that Snoke was a clone was literally just a pan shot, and he happened to be in one of the things. It
wasn't even a line.
No.
Yeah. So Mark, Lagatha is dead. She's dead. I've done it. How long have I been? We've been saying this for 2 years.
That's exactly what I was saying. I was like, oh my god, finally. I knew she was going to die this season. She had to.
Yeah.
I was expecting her to die in that fight between that guy because I forgot about the whole had to be killed by a son of Ragnar.
What do you call it? Prophecy.
And it was just such a like Chrissy watching this fight. I feel like Chrissy might have thought, oh, this is a bit like dramatic for me. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, if she dies, I don't give a shit. What do you think's gonna happen with because Ubbe's gonna have no idea what the fuck went down with Bjorn. So right now, bloody King Harold's just gonna like march on Kattegat and he's just gonna be like, oh, Lagatha's dead. That's fucked.
I'm just waiting for Bjorn to come back and be like, I'm not the king of Norway. Fucking Harold is. And then everyone would be like, yeah, your kid and your mum are dead.
That's right, his kid.
His kid is dead.
He's never cared if his kids are alive.
That scene was just like, it's making you try to feel the feels.
I just ready that people get the fuck out of the way, but I just ready. And it was like, you know, I'm not dying. Yes, you're a kid, you automatically, I do have feels for the sheer fact that you're a kid, but this is fucking stupid. Bjorn at that age would have been smart enough to fucking jump out of the way of some cunt coming at him like this.
There were even more kids that died in this episode. All those kids in that village just died being scouts and lookouts just by the bandits.
Full on arrowed and shit.
Yeah, when Lagatha could have just gone back to Kattegat. She is responsible for Bjorn's fucking kid dying and all the other kids dying.
Yeah, and she barely even gave a shit.
Just like, you're going to fucking Ragnarok. Not Ragnarok, you're going to Valhalla.
Yeah, go on.
He should have been like screaming and freaking out and panicking too. There was this moment in Rogan where Kevin Smith was talking about his father died of a heart attack. And his brother was there when his dad died, and his brother came up to him and was like, he went out screaming. And Kevin's like, what are you talking about? He's like, literally, he died screaming in pain. And Kevin was like, it just always stuck with me. You can be a good guy and do the right thing your whole life and go out screaming in pain. It's a crazy moment. I got it in here.
But then my brother says this thing probably defined my life. My brother goes, he died screaming. And I go, what? And he goes, he died screaming. And I was like, I mean, is that a figure of speech? And he goes, no, he died screaming. And you could see my brother was haunted by it. And my father wasn't like I wouldn't say he was a butch man or strong man, but he wasn't a soft man by any stretch of the imagination. And I never heard him get real loud or anything like that. And the notion of my father dying screaming changed my life, because I was like, even a good man in this world, you play the game, you play it straight, you play it by the rules, you do everything you're supposed to, you're gonna die screaming. And at that point I was like, there's no point in not trying to accomplish every stupid fucking dream I've got, even if it's dumb shit like fucking, you know, oh my God, I've always wanted to collect this many fucking Wayne Gretzky cards in one fucking binder. Or if it's like, I want to make a movie. Or if it's like, I want to put on a podcast. Or I want to do a TV show now. Or I want to write a book. Chase it all down. Chasing whimsies is what I've been doing for the last few years. Just smoking weed and chasing whimsies. Anytime I'm like, back in the day, I'd have a good idea, something I really wanted to follow through on. And so you get scared. You start thinking about what some motherfucker's going to say. And be like, oh, it's stupid. Why would you fucking do that? And fucking why? A lot of why people in this world. I try to surround myself with the why nots, motherfuckers. So you're like, I want to try this. They're like, why not? Let's go. Let's give it a shot. You got to be game, man. People help you achieve your dreams and shit. So
the funeral was a fucking pointless episode. Is what you're trying to say?
It reminded me of Return of the King, where Return of the King just keeps on ending and ending and ending and ending, and then it's ended, and there's another ending, and then it's ended, and there's another. And Sam and Frodo say goodbye. Then we got the King's coronation, and Aragorn gets seen. Legolas says goodbye to Gimli. Then on the boats and the Great Havens, and Elrond sees them going and going and going. Then at the sacrifice, and the Lady of the Contacts, and the thing, and the boat, and the fire.
How can we stretch this out to be a whole episode?
Bjorny rocks up. He's like, if something's dead, they're on the mountain. They come over. They got the arrows. They got the catapult, things on fire, they're pulling it, they're burning, it's all in the water, keeps on going. It's like 40 minutes of a funeral.
Exactly.
So episode 8, there were actually...
Isn't it sad that that's all we can talk about episode 7? Like, nothing happened.
Like,
mate.
So yeah, I mean, like stuff's happening with Oleg. He smashed that puppet.
Bitsuck's burning scene?
Yeah, okay, that's what I would say.
I know, I'm sorry, nothing all that happened. It's a review of the episode.
No. Let me just check his microphone's on. I'm always proud of his microphone's on. Microphone's on.
Imagine if it wasn't on this whole time.
But then we weren't recording audio this whole time. If I had cut out, it's fine. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. This is all in the review still.
Do you even bother editing anymore, Al?
Do I even bother editing anymore? No, all this shit has made editing even more harder. All this madness. There we go. So, I don't know, do you want to talk about Vikings anymore, or you just want to talk about life?
Not really, I just kind of want to talk about life. That's literally, okay, nothing fucking happened. I was trying to stretch it out because this episode, like these, we're reviewing 2 episodes and nothing happened.
This episode was ruined 2 episodes. It's like a funeral happened and then Bjorny was sad.
Nothing particularly happened. It was, yeah. We're gonna talk about,
Nah! I mean, we could. I don't know what you're gonna say.
The Obi-Wan delay?
That sounds familiar, but what the fuck are you talking about?
I sent you the link this morning and you commented on it.
The Obi-Wan delay?
Obi-Wan, the series.
Oh! Alright, let's wrap up Vikings and then you want to do a separate Star Wars review?
Yeah, might as well.
Alright guys, thank you for watching. Really happy if you guys will like, subscribe in the comments. We've got all the facts on how we don't even talk about Vikings in the show anymore, which is fair enough because Vikings really isn't doing anything.
Nothing really happened in the show, but let's go. We can do Star Wars for everyone.
I'll make it a separate video. So Jasper, we're reviewing the 9th episode of the 6th season of Vikings.
I did not watch it.
Oh wait, I forgot to do that. My name's Alex Campbell.
I'm fucking Jasper.
You're fucking Jasper. Monster, the gangster.
That's a story.
I believe it's real in psychology. I believe Peterson's talked about it, right? Like Charles Manson and Ted Bundy, like there were women just throwing themselves out there.
I think that's a little bit different though. That's but the idea. No, so the thing that Peterson has talked about is that women want to, the very minimum, associate with men who are at least parallel to them in the dominance hierarchy.
Yeah, they're not attracted to people who are lower than them in the dominance hierarchy. Which is fair enough. I mean,
makes sense.
From a biological standpoint, they're committing to bearing the child of this person. It's not just a 9-month commitment, it's like a 20-year commitment. Like, who are you having a kid with?
Yeah.
Is it Tony Soprano or is it fucking Vitzek? Who would you rather have a kid with? So I would much rather be plowed by Tony Soprano.
Steady supply of magic mushrooms.
But would you want to be pregnant to his child?
I've never been pregnant before.
Could you imagine yourself being pregnant to Vitzek's child?
No, I can't imagine
Could you imagine yourself being pregnant to Tony Soprano's child?
Maybe.
You fucking slut!
Wait. Tony Soprano or fucking James Gandolfini?
I mean, they're one and the same, right?
Well, maybe.
What are we working here towards? Are we have a fancy for James Gandolfini?
I don't know.
I mean, he was a slob, but
he was a gorgeous.
Now this is what we're really getting to here. This is the review.
Goon and the Sopranos. You guys.
We have a history with Goon and the Sopranos.
You have no idea.
You guys have no idea about
absolutely no idea.
Goon history with the Sopranos. But really, like, I don't know. Could this just evolve into a podcast that nobody watches rather than sci-fi reviews that nobody watches?
I don't know.
What could it be, Jasper? What are we doing? Where are we moving? What is happening?
I don't know, man. It's your fucking channel. I'm trying to learn Blender.
I'll talk about that on camera for 40 minutes. Or are we done?
I don't know. I don't give a fuck. I'm pretty happy if you catch my drift.
I do catch your drift. If your drift is a stream and we're streaming through the drift.
I got a fish.
Well, if this was a podcast, right?
Right.
And I was just like, I'm gonna go there, get the wine. Actually, you entertain the crowd while
I got a piss. I got a piss.
Don't touch me. It's been degrading to this point for a while now, lads. I'm sorry. I wanted this to be a cohesive, intellectual, analytical review for Vikings. We didn't even watch it. We couldn't even sit through it. I don't know what this, or Vikings, or who I am anymore. And I know that nobody's watching at this point. I know that Jasper's laughing while he's peeing. But maybe we could just let this go for a little longer and see where it goes.
A lot of my life I've fought against my fate, but now I'm resigned.
Resigned?
To what? Well, I've committed myself to the destructive element.
So unlike that scene with Torvi and whatever Bjorn's son's name was, where she goes to the grave and she says something. I don't even know his name. Unlike that scene, the scene with Gunhild, Princess Fiona, She-Shrek.
Oh,
Bjorn is Mrs.
She-Shrek, right?
The she-bear. The scene with her.
The she-bear.
The she-bear.
She-Shrek wasn't bad enough. It had to be she-bear.
She's a bear.
Yeah.
A beautiful woman, as Jasper often says.
Does he?
Yeah, he's attracted to manly women.
So is Beauty, apparently.
Apparently. I mean, she's not unattractive.
No, she's pretty.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Very butch.
She's very butch.
Like, I would be like...
I mean, you see her against Bjorn, so, oh, she's a big bitch. Against us, she'd be like...
Yeah, but even Bjorn's so fucking massive.
Yeah.
You know,
she'd be like... Just be like, yeah, hit me. This is really kind of Bjorn's send-off. He fucking rocks up a Kattegat, and music is really somber. Also, like, Vikings is so fucking beautiful. Like, even when the narrative dipped a bit, if it did, like, it just all looks so beautiful.
There's one episode, I don't know which one it was, but I'm not going to say anything about the episode except for the fact that it was beautifully depressing.
Yeah.
Everything was down in the dumps, everything was depressing, but it was artistically beautiful.
The music is amazing. I'm always complaining about The Expanse or a lot of other shows where the music's just generic, but like The Mandalorian, the music is amazing, and this, the music is amazing. Trevor Morris has done the music from like episode 1 to episode 89. And just all those weird, surreal moments. Like even when Bjorn like rocks back up at Kattegat, and there's a few other moments where it's not played straight. The way they edit it and the way it's cut and the way it's filmed is all like, and I fucking love it. It's so weird and like trippy and grindy.
Like it has been since the start.
Yeah, man.
They haven't lost that.
There's been like so many moments where like it's just a typical scene that would in a normal drama play out normally, but then it's just like twisted and skewed and so like, yeah, grindy and psychedelic.
With enough mythical sort of stuff in there without it being too over the top.
Yeah, so they successfully get fucking Igor out in the cart, and all that sequence was really tense. I had a note here about Fat Jesus. They have a reenactment.
That was weird. I don't even know how I felt about that
He's
scene.
just like so morbidly obese. I mean, did they choose him because it was that fat?
Originally, I thought he was just someone they were going to crucify. And they
he's a prisoner.
But then he was an actor.
Have you seen all the pictures of ripped Jesus? Where he's just like... It's like artist depictions where they've kind of taken the muscular physique a bit too far, and it gets kind of a homoerotic undertone to it, which is funny. It's Jesus.
It's not supposed to be.
It's like, wow, you're really into Jesus.
In fact, he's hung up on the crucifix deliberately, so he's like pumping his guns.
I mean, he's always been depicted as like, skinny, and you can see his muscle.
Most of it is like, his rib cage is hardcore showing. He's all like fucked. You know?
But there are some pictures where Jesus is
he's like Terry Crews.
Sexy. Sexy Jesus, which is ironic.
Bloody Christ.
R.I.P. George Carlin and Carrie Fisher. On an electrical cord.
It's fine.
The electricity and beer mix well. Yeah, so Harold comes in and there's this dark dynamic between Ingrid, who he brutally raped in the last 10 episodes, which was like a hectic moment because Harold's so beloved. But then it's like, the Vikings. He's jealous of Bjorn and he fucking rapes his wife. And she's pregnant and she doesn't know whether it's Bjorn's kid.
That would be fucked.
Or Harold's rape baby, and he's like touching her and she's shuddering and
she's just telling herself that it's Bjorn's.
Yeah, and then she agrees to marry him because that's the only way she can still have power as a woman. So she like agrees to marry her rapist, who is possibly the father of her rape baby. And then the same thing is proposed for Gunhild. Like, she has no other options. She can't go
marry
out.
Harold or fucking kill yourself.
Yeah, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna kill myself.
That's fucked.
You know, I have no luck with women.
Can you imagine? Will you marry me? Nah, I don't want to fucking die.
I'm gonna kill myself. Just swim out into the ocean until I stop swimming.